what I want for you, or hope to teach to my clients and those of you that are here, is to not just accept what you assume, but to ask questions. And I believe that that's one of the most significant components in being able to stay healthy. I mean, when we go into the grocery store alone, what we see is not actually food, or at least not the majority of it. And so you don't just want to take a medication or accept something that's going on in your body that you know is not optimal. You want to ask questions, and really that's at the start, at the root, and it's what's going to be the thing that helps you to stay healthy. And stay healthy, why? Because I believe that you're right, as a human being, as a creation of God, that our bodies weren't designed to be sick. Our relationships are just really horrible when you are experiencing the illness, or you have to witness the illness of someone. And my thing is that so many of the illnesses, the chronic illnesses really that we experience, the things that really steal from our life and our relationships, are these things that are preventable. And like I said, many of you have either gotten COVID or received the shot. And of course, many of my clients, they are around the age of 60 and above. And so their goal is to be healthy. But many of them don't know or believe that you don't have to be on medication. Like, many individuals really think that you have to be on medication. And now it's something that's starting at a very young age, with these increased diagnoses with psychological disorders, the increase in depression and anxiety. Like, these are things that all contribute to what's taking place around us and what we're putting on the inside of us, which we all have the power to change. And so I bring this information to you not as bad news, but I see as good news, because you actually have the ability to change it. And what I've noticed is that when I ask questions of God, that He presents the answer. And what loving parent wouldn't do that? It's just, we have not because we don't ask. And so I'm just letting you know, start asking questions, first of God, because He'll lead, guide, direct you. He loves you. He has a plan for your life. He'll send you the help that you need. And then from there, just start to take steps with what you already know. And I'm telling you, you can alleviate and avoid a lot of issues. Nobody wants to spend the second half of their life, or any part of their life, consistently going to a hospital and taking drugs. No. Okay? So let's talk about this. So like I said, there's many of these symptoms, and what has been found that these symptoms are being caused by what's called the spike protein. And the spike protein is what has gone into our body from either getting sick from this virus, or from taking these shots, these vaccines that weren't tested, they weren't properly tested. They were definitely given to us, but we should have the option. So I want to give you this information so you can, get some options as to what you can do, and if in fact you're experiencing any of these things. Now, I also want to remind us, or let you know, that because it's now been found that there's what's called shedding, that even if you didn't get the vaccine, that you can still have spike protein in your body. I know some individuals that didn't get sick either. And there's some individuals that didn't realize if they were sick or not. They said, I might have gotten sick, or I don't know. But plain and simple, we've all been around one another, and there's shedding taking place. So you could be experiencing some of these things from the spike protein, even if you didn't get sick or get the virus or get the shot, okay? And the spike protein is what has been found to be at the root of many of these things that's causing all of these symptoms, which I'll go over some of them. And spike protein, basically, I'm going to give you some information here that I collected. The spike protein it addresses, or I guess I should say attacks, the cells in a way to where it doesn't allow them to function optimally. Some say that the spike protein is like a key that it uses to get into the cells to start to wreak this havoc. It attaches to the H2 receptors, what's called H2 receptors in the lungs, the blood vessels, the heart, and all of these different, parts of our bodies. And this is where many individuals are causing, getting issues like myocarditis, inflammation in the heart, of course in the lungs. We heard a lot about the lungs, but really it will produce all over the body. And The thing is that we don't know, or it's not known, how long this is going to produce within the body. And when it comes to the different ways that you might have received the spike protein, say for instance through getting the virus or getting the vaccine, it's showing now that if you received it from the vaccine, that those are even two different ways or manners in which the spike protein affects the body. Like it's two different. One is possibly more aggressive, and that's the one inside of the vaccine. Now let me go over this really quick, and then I'll go over some of the symptoms and then some options that you can look into, some therapeutics, things that you've probably already heard about, including the NAC that I told you about before. A form of that will be really good. Now, with the COVID, your body fights it and eventually clears it, but some is still left. It still remains. And so this is when you get it from COVID. They said with the vaccine, your cells are programmed to make the spike protein, and so it's continually being produced in the body. So you're having longer exposure, more intense inflammatory responses, and more persistent symptoms. Now, this is the thing that's also very concerning, is that it can cross the blood-brain barrier, it's said, and leading to neurological effects. So when I go into the symptoms, you'll see the connection between the two, with the heart. So maybe blood clots. You've heard about the blood clots, or there were stories of what is the word for, like morticians, the ones that prepare bodies that have passed away, that they started to find this white thick stuff. And they said they've never seen that ever before. There are blood clots, low oxygen, chest pains. These are some of the symptoms. And so the cells are where we're supposed to get our oxygen, but because of how the spike protein attacks it, that you find yourself with fatigue. Now, what if you're 60? You go to the doctor and the doctor just says, you're probably around that age. Or what if you're, in your 50s and the doctor says, oh, that's common because of around your age. You're never going to be able to address these. And many of these things, or the spike protein, there wasn't much information or testing done on it. So there hasn't been a protocol presented to be able to address this, aside from doctors that are now on their own independently looking for information to be able to handle this. And so there's a lot of things that we can do that are remedies or treatments to help heal our body, or to detox or lower the inflammation. And these are some things that have been around for some time, and I'll go over them in a moment. Let's go over these symptoms. Musculoskeletal joint pain, I've experienced this. Like you are experiencing issues that maybe somebody 60 or more would be experiencing typically. And then I must say that even at that age, many individuals experience that because of the medications they're on. Mind you, all of these things are being attacked in the body. Some individuals have allergic reactions, mast cell activation. All of these things are taking place and contributing to these things. Shortness of breath, lingering cough, tightness in the chest, poor sleep, temperature swings in the body, loss of stamina. Depression is a huge one. But these are just some of the symptoms, and you can kind of think about what you're experiencing and just really look into it. The good thing about it is that a lot of these therapeutics that I'll recommend, like I said, they're very, low risk, or things that have been around for a long time. Some of these things you probably have taken before in the past. And so I want to go over these with you. Some of them are turmeric. I know you've heard about that. Curcumin. That's for help to lower the inflammation. That's important because the spike protein causes inflammation in the body. And we know that inflammation is at the root of so many illnesses. Next, we have vitamin C, okay, so important. Bromelain, quercetin, these are the things that have been found to be beneficial when we're looking at being able to, is being recommended, one of the things is being recommended by now, professionals, researchers, doctors that are really working to try to find a solution here. Now with the NAC, it doesn't just boost the glutathione, but it crosses the blood-brain barrier, which is important because that's what the spike protein does. And there we can, be more effective. And it also helps to denature the spike protein and then to detox the body from it. So there's been some really good testimonials of this too. I can link some down below. I'll also put a link for you to be able to purchase the NAC. And of course, the other ones you can just order, off of online off Amazon, or just go into your health store, your local health store, and you can find any of these, the curcumin, the nattokinase, and all of these are highly effective. And especially, if you have any issues with inflammation in your joints, or maybe there's been an increase in that. Some individuals who had issues before and weren't having issues anymore, once they got the vaccine, then they experience an increase. We need to deal with the root issue. And so I just really hope that you will just take a hold of some of these, look into it for yourself, continue to ask questions, and really give your body the things that it needs. Real, whole, best quality, high quality food, pasture raised eggs and meats, and grass-fed beef and grass-fed butter, and good healthy fats, olive oil, butter, all of these different things you want to have to help take care of your body. Also, just getting that processed food out of there. I mean, dude, you don't need to drink juice. You don't need to drink soda. They're affecting your body the same way. Get some electrolyte, plain electrolytes, no sugar electrolytes. Put that in your water. Keep yourself hydrated. Get in the nutrients that you need. And then for any additional things that you need, consider the supplements that I mentioned here, you all. Let's help our bodies to fight and feel better, which is your right. So I hope that was helpful, you all. I look forward to speaking with you all very soon, and have a good day.